Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Michael. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or randomness or whatever it may be, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. May take a little bit to get to it, but I will get to it as soon as I can. Just feel free to keep track on the channel. I'm going to try to upload pretty much every day. At least I'll try. But this is for batteries not included, which Michael mentioned he was... Because when you send a mess, if you send a request through PayPal, you can send a message, like what the request is, stuff like that. He mentioned this was a childhood favorite of his, and it was mine as well. I mean, I don't know if I would say favorite, but it is a film I remember watching as a kid. And while I do have little issues with it, it's a sweet little, perhaps a bit corny, but it's a nice little fairy tale, kind of like Cocoon, E.T., and Short Circuit kind of had a baby. Because you have the older folks, especially Hume Cronin and Jessica Tandy, who were in Cocoon, directed by Ron Howard. You have E.T. with the friendly alien from the sky becoming friendly with the characters, and then Short Circuit with the machinery having a bit of their own life. I know this is a story that was meant for Amazing Stories, TV show that Spielberg was dealing with at the time. And Spielberg said, no, let's not do that. Let's actually take this and make it into a movie, which he did. That's why it says Steven Spielberg presents, and he was one of the executive producers along with Kathleen Kennedy and Frank Marshall. Now, it was directed by Matthew Robbins. He did a couple films like The Legend of Billie Jean, among others. He didn't do too many films after this. The story was by Mick Garris. Mick Garris is the guy who would go on to direct Stephen King adaptations like The Stand and Sleepwalkers. He had done Critters 2, which I enjoy. I actually like Critters 2 quite a bit. But he came up with the story of this, and James Horner, may he rest in peace, who did this movie, Aliens, and music for quite a few other films. He did the music for this. So you have quite a few people involved with it. I mean, even the screenplay, not just Matthew Robbins, but Brad Bird. Yes, the same Brad Bird that will work on The Incredibles and other stuff. And Brent Maddock and S.S. Wilson, funny enough, wrote Short Circuit, and then they would go on after this to write Tremors. So, technically, I guess 4 people worked on the screenplay, which is a bit much for this, because it's a pretty simple story. Yeah, Brad Bird, Matthew Robbins, who's the director, Brent Maddock, and S.S. Wilson, who were a team. And when the film came out, it didn't do the best. By the way, this cover sucks. I prefer the VHS cover, because the VHS cover is much more mysterious. I'll go have the poster right here. I say VHS, but that was the theatrical poster. Like, this right here, theatrical poster. Because it's, again, a bit more mysterious with the couple sleeping, and it's through the window. What is it about? Why are they here? This is like a shitty, zany, look how zany we are. Sometimes I wonder, some of these companies, what they're fucking thinking when they do this shit. This is an awful cover. Why the fuck would anyone buy this film with this cover? Unless you've seen the film and you know it. If you don't, you'd be like, why the fuck? Oh, it's a fucking Disney Channel movie is what it looks like. And we're like 5 minutes in, I haven't gotten to the film. Hume Cronin owns this diner. And the diner is part of a tenant building. There's other tenants. There's Hume Cronin's wife, played by Jessica Tandy from Driving Miss Daisy. And like I said, Hume Cronin and Jessica Tandy, they were also in Cocoon before this. Sally, Jessica Tandy's character, has a bit of dementia issues. She keeps calling for her son, even though her son's not there. Things of that nature. And you feel bad for the character. But they have this diner, And the other tenants in the building, you have this guy who's an artist. I remember him from the beginning of one of the Crocodile Dundee movies. Dennis, it's this guy here in the front. I can't remember his last name. But you have him, you have a pregnant lady played by Elizabeth Pena. You have this older, bigger guy who's a bit of a mute. He used to be a boxer played by Frank McRae. But Elizabeth Pena, the pregnant lady, she was in the 1990 film Jacob's Ladder. She was in the first Rush Hour movie. Frank McRae, he was with Stallone in Lock Up. He was also the police captain in 48 Hours and Last Action Hero and National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. Trying to think, you have those two, Frank McRae, the old couple. Pretty much that's who's left, because this greedy land developer wants them kicked out. They even try to hire thugs, led by Michael Carmine, who's actually in this film, Leviathan. Actually, this guy here, who's got the blood on his shirt and hands, that's Michael Carmine. Let me put a little bit there. May he rest in peace. And that's the sad thing watching this film again, is when you watch the movie, most of the cast are gone. And this is a film from 1987, not 67 or 57 or 77, 1987. And of the main 6 cast members, 5 of them are gone. Hume Cronin, Jessica Tandy, they were older, they passed away. Elizabeth Pena passed away. Michael Carmine passed away, sadly, around the time Leviathan came out, 1989. Frank McRae passed away this year, sadly. I think February of 2021 this year. So the only person alive is this guy, Dennis. He plays the character Mason. I'm talking about the main cast of characters. So it's kind of sad watching it again. Like, wow. Almost everybody I'm watching has passed on. It's depressing. It's sad. It's not the movie's fault, but it's like, damn. Even James Horner, who did the store, he passed away. It's like, fuck, man. But again, that's not the movie's fault. But yeah, a bunch of buildings have been torn down around it. They're pretty much the last building standing. And these land developers, one of them is, I believe, John Pankow, who I remember he was in the George Romero film Monty Shines. Again, they hire people like Michael Carmine to go in and bust the place out, wreck the diner. And pretty much these characters are on their last legs. The Mason guy, played by Dennis, he's an artist whose girlfriend leaves. The Elizabeth Pena, the pregnant lady, his boyfriend hasn't come back yet, and then he doesn't really give a shit. Frank McRae, he doesn't talk a lot. He says maybe 2 sentences throughout the film. He's a bit... You wonder if there's some kind of backstory as to why he's this way. Like, did he accidentally kill someone in the rain? Did something happen? That's never really explained. The old couple, they're friends. Another older couple, they leave to retirement home, and they're kind of on their last legs. And you feel bad. You feel bad for Hume Cronin because of his diner is wrecked. He's being forced out. His wife has dementia, and they work well together because Hume Cronin and Jessica Tandy worked together as a couple. They were a real couple up to Jessica Tandy's death in sometime in the 90s, which is too bad. And James Horner, while granted he is a composer that utilized a lot of his older work, he would like reuse his older stuff, I still liked him, and I still enjoyed the score. Sometimes the score will remind you of other stuff he's done in the past, but it's in particular the softer, sweeter moments. Like when Hume Cronin, he's talking with Jessica Tandy, and she loves him, and she's smiling at him, and, oh, come on, smile. And he's trying to smile, and they're singing, and he almost breaks down. He's in the kitchen, he's cleaning up, and he just smashes something, and he's looking at this brochure, and he's like, we need help. And you feel, number one, like the score, I think, works well for the emotions that scene's supposed to deliver. And also, again, the actors, you feel bad in a way you can relate to, because we've all been in that spot where you just sit there going, someone please help me. And also, nice to see older actors. I mean, that sounds stupid, but when we need to cast younger, sometimes it's nice to see a film where the older generation who are talented or more experienced, more... There's younger that are talented. I meant to say sometimes, more talented, to have their time to shine. Their time to shine. And again, while the film goes on a little bit too long, because it's an hour and 47 minutes, I don't think there's really enough here for a full movie. Part of me does wonder if this would have been better as just an hour-long episode. I do wonder if it would have worked better as an Amazing Stories episode, because, again, I don't think there's enough there for an almost 2-hour movie. But at the same time, I like the cast. The characters, for what they need to be, worked well. I didn't mind the dentist guy and his relationship with Elizabeth Pena. I thought they worked well. Him, Cronin, and Jessica Tandy being married, they definitely, you see that connection. I think Michael Carmine was a lot of fun. Granted, I have a soft spot because Leviathan is a personal favorite of mine, and he was in that as well. He did that movie. He did this movie before this one. But he's having fun. But even he has an arc. He's a thug, but even his character has an arc. Because he keeps telling Jessica Tandy, listen, I'm not your son, lady. I'm not your son. But he actually does care for her. And he's not a one-dimensional villain. And that's kind of an underrated part of the script that not many people talk about, is that he could just be just, I'm going to get the fuck out, or I'm going to break your ass. No, there's a little bit more to it. Like he's trying to tell, listen, lady, I'm not who you think I am. And at the end, when things are going off kilter, he actually has a little bit of a redemption moment. A little bit of a redemption moment in a way. And the machines themselves, I like the design. I think ILM did a great job with these designs. It's a cool idea to have UFOs only this big. And it's a movie where it has a sweet enough story as well as nice special effects. Not just one or the other. It has a bit of both to that. Which makes it a fun film to watch. It's definitely a movie you can watch with your kids. It's rated PG. And that's fine. It didn't need to be rated any higher. Like, this is a story that works fine with PG. Again, maybe it's a little bit corn syrup, corny for people. But a little bit... Again, there's a slim story there. Like I said, they're ready to get kicked out. These little UFOs come in. You don't ever quite know why they're there. You kind of do because one ship, I guess you call it the female ship, that one over here, wants to get energized in a plug-in, and then I guess technically they fuck, and then have little babies, which you don't see that, but you get the idea. And the little baby, I mean, it's cute. It's cute. It's well done effects by Industrial Light and Magic. Does hold up fairly well for a 1987 movie. They're still... And it's unique. It's not something you see every day. It's not that and I appreciate that bit of uniqueness. And... Granted, you don't know why they picked that exact building and those exact people, and... They're there long enough, I guess, for the little kids to learn how to fly, so to speak, and then leave the nest. But it doesn't really go into detail exactly why they picked that one building, but I guess it's just one of those, You know, any explanation would probably be a letdown. And even the characters themselves going, well, maybe they came here for you. Maybe they came here for this. But that's never quite answered. Maybe that's for the better. And it's a movie where, like I said, it does do a bit with the characters, like Jessica Tandy come to terms with an event in her life by the end of it. I wouldn't say overcoming her dementia, but at least a part of it, admitting the truth about what happened to a certain loved one. That's a nice little emotional moment at the end. I think the cast, like I said, they work well together. The characters are likable enough. They're not annoying, irritating. They're likable enough. The movie is cute. It's a bit of fun. The music. At times sometimes the music is trying to sound like an old cartoon when something more zany's happening. I don't know about that piece of music. I'm like, that's a bit on the nose with the hilarious zaniness. Again, when I say I like James Horner's music, it's more of the softer, emotional moments that I think work better. The more zanier is like, this is a kid's film, so make sure it's zany with the music. But I mean, it's a kid's film that doesn't have gratuitousness. It doesn't have, fart jokes. It doesn't have any of that sort. It's perfectly fine for the kids. It's not too cringeworthy for adults. And overall, it's a movie that its heart is in the right place. And I think the cast work well. The effects work well. Roger Ebert said a cheerful, funny family entertainment. And there's no features on this. Well, there's a trailer. But I don't remember this movie being it was a big success, but I don't remember it being a big bomb either. But maybe with Amblin Entertainment, Steven Spielberg name being a part of it, they expected it to be a bit of a bigger hit. But I mean, Arachnophobia was a bigger hit, and that got nothing, so go figure. But yeah, this cover sucks. The DVD, I think it's on Blu-ray. Don't quote me on that though. But yeah, I mean, if you like 80s movies, if you like heartfelt movies, if you like movies that you're fine with a bit of sappiness, Batteries Not Included is worth a watch. Again, despite the fucking shitty cover here. Again, this is a better poster. Again, bit of nostalgic sweetness. And that doesn't bother me too much. And rest in peace to a lot of people working on it. Again, watch it and I'm like, wow, a lot of people in this have passed away. Kind of like this movie. Because you look like this film, the director passed away, the composer passed away, the main effects guys, Stan Winston, Jerry Goldsmith, George P. Cosmos, director, they all passed away. Michael Carmine passed away. Richard Crenna passed away. Just how it is, just time itself, just how it goes. But with that said, thanks for watching. I mean, let me put it this way. The best line in the movie is someone going, "This is the 80s, Mason. No one likes reality anymore." That line stuck with me. And I forgot about that line, but watching it, I'm like, wow, that's a really good line. This is the 80s. No one likes reality anymore. And they're right. So we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.